We have a problem. Religion is fading and science doesn't have the answers. I'll give you an idea of who to listen to, but first let me tell you where we're at. Our relatives 100, 200, 500 years ago would ask God, priests, parents, and other important people from our communities for the answers to our problems. Now you can ask the internet and get thousands of different answers to the same problems immediately. While it's good to have varied opinions, I really deeply believe that it's bad that what used to give us closure now has no authority. What a priest says can be disproved with a Google search. What a parent says can be debated endlessly with ChatGPT. What the Bible or the Quran says is constantly opposed by TikTok trends. So who or what can you trust anymore? Science? Not at all. There are no morals in science. Listen, a scientific rule could say, whatever maximizes dopamine is good. It's a happy hormone, so whatever gives every person the most is the best for society. Well, we could all just spend all day doom scrolling on TikTok. We'd all be super high on dopamine, but nothing would get done and we'd all feel awful about it. That's one example. Here's a second. We will sacrifice one person if it saves two. Scientifically, we want as many people alive as possible, so if it means sacrificing one healthy person to save two people that need a transplant, so be it. Both of those are quite scary. What about philosophy? I'm studying it. It does a better job, but it's not perfect. Until recently, the last 100, 200 years or so, all philosophers were religious. That was just the way it was. You had to be religious or you would be pushed out of communities, or in some cases, murdered, executed. So a lot of their philosophy is based on Christianity in the West, but even the Romans and the Greeks, they believed in their gods, just ones that nobody believes in anymore. So if you don't believe in religion, you might find it very hard to believe in philosophy based on religion. That's my diagnosis. Science, religion, and philosophy fail our generation. They don't give us hope for better. So what can you and I do? Have you been watching me carve away? Did you count how many cuts I had made to form this poor excuse of a spoon? I don't blame you for not counting, especially since there isn't a set number. I could chisel away 1,000 pieces and end up with this very ugly spoon. Whereas a master, she could make 100 precise incisions and have a perfect spoon. The same goes for life. A priest used to be able to help people live a good life because he was a master of the Bible. Your average self-help guru has no strong foundation to help you. They have no good moral compass. So how can you trust them to make your life better? You might say, TJ, how can you tell me not to trust a self-help guru while you yourself are essentially fit the category of self-help guru? I'll tell you something no self-help guru will admit. I might be wrong. This could all be wrong, and I would love for it to be wrong and there is a better solution out there, but I don't see one. But the second there is one, I will be the first person to call myself out and say, look guys, we found something, there's something better, let's get on this. But this is the best I've found. I just want you guys to hear it from me. And I would, if anyone in the comments wants to tell me I'm wrong or has a book or an academic paper or article that I can read that would change my perspective, I'll read it, I'll try it. But this is the best I've found so far. My prescription for our generation's spiritual gap is we must carve the best lives for ourselves together. For example, I help you deal with your tendency to shut yourself off from the world, and you help me deal with my tendency to procrastinate. Or you help me carve better spoons, which I need, and I'll help you write poetry. And the list goes on forever. And it's not just you and me, it's me and my neighbors, you and your neighbors, my neighbors and your neighbors, and me and a group in America, and those Americans, and a group from Spain, and it just keeps going until everyone's on board with this. We all become better for ourselves and each other. You and I are both the knife and the spoon in someone else's story. I sculpt you into a better spoon and you sculpt me into a better spoon. The only thing is we must try our best to sculpt others correctly. But without a set of guidelines like the 10 Commandments, what are we aiming to be? What am I trying to turn you into and what are you trying to turn me into? I've already said religion, philosophy and science are fading or don't have the answer. The best I've found are the 4 agreements. But if you really probe these guidelines the same way that I've proven science doesn't work and I've proven that religion is fading, I would have no undeniable proof to say that these are the best. That these are the best I've found so far. So, the 4 guidelines you should sculpt me into, and I will sculpt my neighbors into, and my neighbors should sculpt you into, are people that are impeccable with their word. People that do not take anything personally. People that do not make assumptions. And people that always do their best. If every person had these 4 personality traits and held other people accountable in a healthy way, this generation could fill that void that we're feeling. Now we have no rules other than your government's laws. And do not steal does not inspire me to go and do great things. But being impeccable with my word for my neighbor, it does inspire. Always do your best does inspire. If you helped me do that, and I helped others do that, and they helped you do that, we could all be better off and still unique individuals. And that's what's truly important. There are so many of these theories for human nature and ideas that political parties have where we all just become cogs in a big machine. No one's unique. We all just wear grey and we all wear beige and we all listen to the most generic music and no one goes and watches great theatrical things. We just watch slop in the cinema and just Netflix and everything costs us. If we really just tried to do these 4 things and tried to help everyone else do these 4 things, we'd have hope. We'd have a reason to keep going. And that's what I'm aiming to do with this channel and with my life. If you want a more in-depth video about the 4 agreements specifically, I'd be happy to do that. If you just comment, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just move on and just keep trying to apply them.
If you want to be a better spoon, please consider subscribing.